Welcome to the tier list, the every anime I've ever seen ever tier list. This is, my opinion, of course, is 100% correct. And if there's one single minor disagreement on here, you're automatically wrong. And, you go to super hell. So don't do that. Anyway, we have a lot on here. There's 105 shows on here, something like that. Alrighty, so let's get into it. We have our categories. S, the best shows, Super Saiyan rank. Those are the best ones. Some good stuff goes up there. A is great. That's shows that are great, duh. B's pretty good. Flawed, but you know what? They're awesome. I'd probably rewatch them. C is it's fine. I watched it once. Probably finished it, but wasn't incredibly impressed. D is, it's a bad show, but it's kind of funny. There's some funnies to be had in there at certain points, so you might watch it to make fun of it. And then F is shit, bad and not funny. So there's nothing really redeemable there. And we're starting right off with a good one, because here's Netflix 7 Seeds, and I can tell you this one goes right into shit, bad and not funny, because I didn't even finish it. This thing's only like, how many episodes is 7 Seeds? I think it's 12. Oh my god, there's a season 2 now? Oh, Jesus. Well, if people like that, that's... you know, that's good for them. But, yeah, I thought this show was fucking terrible. The animation was not good. I was not drawn in by, like, all the characters being stuck on an island, or whatever, with, like, giant bugs and shit. So, yeah, not really one I'd rewatch or, like, finish. So, on to the next. 86. 86 is fine. I got through the first season. I'm sure if I got through the second season, I might like 86 more. It's definitely interesting with the different character dynamics, but yeah, it's fine. I need to actually, like, catch up on it. Next up, Akira. Ooh, it's a classic. I don't think there are many flaws with that film. If you haven't seen it, Akira is, like, just one of the best animated films of all time ever made. So, there's that. Multiple movies just copy its cinematography. Like, there's that scene in Batman where he slides the... is it the Bat Cycle? The Bat motorcycle under that tanker truck or whatever. That's just, like, stolen shot for shot from Akira. And everyone, that's like a movie everybody should probably see. You know what I mean? I'll know a zero. It's fine. I know a lot of people fucking hate this show. I never really, like, bothered to look into why people hate this show, but it's okay. It's a mech show. Not as good as other mech shows. That's why it's a C. A-Maim Warrior at the Borderline. That's a newer show. I think that goes in its fine too. It's weird. It's trying to be a lot of different things at once with its mech, with how it does its mech action and stuff. It never really drew me in. I don't think I finished the first season of it. It did get renewed for a second season, so that's cool. I thought the mascot characters were neat. They were kind of cute. I feel like I need a section that's just like, I have no opinion. Because here's, what is this? Angels of Death. You know, Angels of Death, I don't know if I finished that all the way through, but I would say it's pretty fucking good, actually. It's an interesting concept with, like, the main character waking up in a deserted building and having to find their way around. Getting help from, like, a psychopath with a scythe, which is always a good, fun time. I guess I should be basic and just go ahead and put Attack on Titan up in S. Because, like, can you... I know people are going to shit on that opinion, but can you not put Attack on Titan in S? It's so good. I know, like, the first season is really badly paced, and it doesn't move along all the best. You know, they spend a lot of time trying to get to the fucking basement, unfortunately, in the first season, and I don't think they get to the basement until like season 3 or 4 or something like that. So yeah, there's that. But other than that, like, pretty much everything about that goddamn show is just amazing. I kind of love it. Titan Back Arrow. I think I watched 2 episodes of. Oh wait, no, that's Berserk. Why did Berserk come up here? Back Arrow, I watched 2 episodes of. It's okay. Another mech fantasy one that was newer from last year. Was fine, I guess. I didn't watch too much of it. This is which Berserk is this? So this is the Golden Age arc movies. I combined all 3 movies into one entry. Those get an S. They are the best Berserk media that's out there. Every other Berserk thing is not great. But those 3 movies, despite having like some rough CG animation in the first one specifically, all 3 of them are great. And even though they only cover like the one arc of the show essentially up until the eclipse, they're really fun and engrossing. I watched it with Noodles, and we really enjoyed our time watching those movies. It was pretty cool. Really violent, but it is Berserk. So then that brings us to the 90s Berserk show, which I'm sorry, but it's not very good. It's just like, it had no budget, so much of it is just like pauses in action with like static shots of guts yelling or whatever and panning over paintings, which is fine for a lot of stuff, but like, you know, it's when you hold it up to like what Berserk is as a manga and as up to the movies, I don't think it holds up very well. It's from like 97 or 98 or something like that. Also, I did not see the Netflix one, the 3D one that looked fucking terrible. I did not waste my time watching that after I saw what the skeletons looked like in the previews. What is this? Okay, Black Clover. You know what? Black Clover is actually pretty good as a dirty shonen enjoyer. Black Clover is pretty sweet. I like it a lot. It has a lot of issues that like old types of shonen shows have, where like it just sort of keeps going. It's not a seasonal thing. It just goes forever. So there's like 300. No, there's not that many. There's like 200 episodes of it already. There's more than that, but it just keeps fucking going, and is not incredibly well paced, and parts of it are not well animated. I remember like because characters fly around on brooms in that show, and there's like a part where they're just standing in the sky on brooms floating up and down, and like literally the effect that they did for the animation was just like a cutout of the character and then moving their like their layer up and down slowly like that. So it was pretty easy. Anyone who has Photoshop or even Krita, which is free, or GIMP could do it. So other than that though, you know, it's fine. It's, if you want shonen, that's one that you could watch. I feel like I'm underselling it a little bit. It is a really fun show. The fights are really inventive. Of course, you have a character who, his ability is that he negates all magic. So like everyone else having magic fighting him is interesting. They do some fun stuff that way. Then we come to Bleach, which I tried to watch this year, and it's fine. I even tried to skip the filler with a guide, but man, it's just, it's not paced well. It's got that 90s, early 2000s anime shonen problem of like, other like modern shows would boil this arc down to 3 episodes, and this arc is 12 episodes. So like you'll have like, you know, especially in the early parts of Bleach where it's like Monster of the Week stuff. I don't know, it's just not overly interesting to me personally. But when you go ahead and watch the fights on YouTube and watch the compilations and the later arcs and stuff like that, I can't lie, that's pretty sick. It really is. I am glad that it is coming back, I think this year in October, for its final season. Bleach fans rejoice, you will finally get the final season, and the manga is done too, so there shouldn't be any filler, for the love of God. So, this is Broly's second coming. This movie's terrible. Don't watch it. That is the shitty Dragon Ball movie that has, when they clone Broly, and he's like a puddle of goo, and Goku's dead during this movie, so it's like Gohan, Trunks, and Goten fighting a weird sludge monster for half of it, and then they fight Broly. There's a cool Kamehameha at the end, but I don't think it brings it up to D. I'm pretty sure that leaves it solidly at shit. If anything, you can watch that family Kamehameha on YouTube and be all set. Ooh, here we go. This is a tough one to rank, to be honest. I'm actually gonna put, this is Gundam, Char's Counterattack. We're gonna put this up here in great. Now, that's a pretty personal ranking, because I think that if you were to just watch it, you would probably give it a D, or maybe an F. Maybe a C, but I think you'd put it down there if you didn't know, like, everything about Gundam up until that point, almost. Like, I'm coming at it from a weird perspective, where I've seen everything in Gundam up until that point, you know? So watching it in release order, it kind of made it like, I don't know, it kind of made it a special event, much like it would have been if you were a Gundam fan back in the day, seeing it in theaters. So, but if you're just to put it on, it's really fucking confusing. You won't know any of the characters or what's going on, and it is well animated and the music's amazing, so there's that. But other than that, yeah, I can see someone else giving this like literally an F if they wanted to, if they had never seen anything else Gundam. Or like maybe a C if they just like the animation. Claymore. Claymore I like, but I don't remember much about it. I'm gonna put it in C, just because I did have it in the poll recently, just because I sort of wanted to refresh my memory on it from watching it again. But yeah, this, I don't remember much about it. I don't remember the animation being great or anything like that. This was one of the shows I watched when I was like just getting back into anime in 2014-ish. I took a long break from watching it from when I was like a kid to then. And I was like 24, 25 getting back into it. And this was a show that was just on Hulu. So yeah, I just watched it on Hulu, and that was that. I don't remember much about it because it's been almost 8 years since I've seen it. I remember a woman with a big sword and a bodysuit, and she was like, I don't know, she kind of reminded me of Geralt from The Witcher. It was like kind of a Witchery situation, if you know what I mean. So that was definitely cool about it. Let's see, this one is, oh, it's Cooler's Revenge. Dragon Ball Cooler's Revenge. That movie is fucking awesome. This movie's great even if you've never seen anything Dragon Ball, because the Dragon Ball movies are like standalone. So, you can just watch that shit. And like, it kind of relies on you knowing the story beats of Dragon Ball, but who the hell doesn't know the story beats of Dragon Ball if they're gonna watch an anime movie? I like anime too, Ash. My whole YouTube channel is basically about anime, so there we are. But yeah, that's the one where Goku fights fucking Cooler, Frieza's brother, and it's awesome. There's like a little bird that dies, and then Goku sees the bird die, and then he like goes Super Saiyan from it. Of course, it does not fit in with the timeline of Dragon Ball at all. It makes literally no sense, but that's just how anime movies work sometimes. What is this? What's after Cooler's Revenge? Cowboy Bebop. Oh, how could I not? That's an S. Do I have to even say anything about Cowboy Bebop? Really? Show is like S tier, God tier. Little upset about that Netflix adaptation. That shit was absolutely terrible. I watched clips of it. Didn't even. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say it's terrible. I haven't seen it, but I did see clips of it, and it was. Man, yeah, just like the music, the vibes, the space stuff. I love sci-fi like that. Like Cowboy Bebop is such a chill vibe. You just kind of gotta love it. Like it's just a really fun time. Okay, Dragon Ball Fusion Reborn is pretty good. You know why it's pretty good? Because that's the one that has Gogeta, where they do the fusion dance, and then they're like, oh, now we gotta beat up a demon, and then he is a fat guy, and then he turns into a muscular guy, which is cool. That's, you know, my dream, so. This is Dragon Ball Z Kai, the recut and redub of Dragon Ball Z, and that shit is fucking phenomenal. That is S tier all day. I love Dragon Ball. I love regular Dragon Ball Z. It's regular Dragon Ball Z is long. You know, it's like almost 300 episodes, if not 300. And there's a lot of filler, and even though I grew up, I would love the City Hunter OST. Even though I grew up with original Dragon Ball, even I don't think the original is S tier. I think I'd throw that an A. But Kai improves on it in almost every single way, except I think when it started coming out, there was like some sort of controversy in how they upscaled it into HD. I think they just cropped it. Or maybe that was the Dragon Boxes. Oh, anyway, the only thing that would improve Kai, like, even more would be the Bruce Falconer soundtrack being edited into it, which I think people have done. I think if you go and look, like, to pirate Dragon Ball, you can find people that have just, like, hacked in the old Bruce Falconer soundtrack into Kai, which is honestly probably the best way to watch it. I'm surprised that Funimation hasn't, or Toei hasn't done that themselves yet. Dragon Ball Z Lord Slug. That is a bad movie, but it's funny. That's the one with fake Super Saiyan and Lord Slug rips off his ears. I really like it, but it's... You know, I might change it. Oh, thank you, Ash. I appreciate that. You know what? Actually, that doesn't deserve it. I like Lord Slug more than that. That's going in C. Lord Slug's pretty good. He rips his ears off. It's pretty hardcore. You gotta love that shit. Metacooler. That is definitely not as good as the original Cooler movie, not by a country mile. So that's going in bad, but maybe funny. There's some good moments. But it's mostly just them on a stupid planet fighting robots. And I don't really like that much. I think this is just regular Dragon Ball. I have to make sure the thumbnail is regular Dragon Ball Z. Nope, this is The World's Strongest. That's the first ever DBZ movie from back in the 90s or early 2000s. 90s, I'm pretty sure. It's okay. That's the one where my... Actually, you know, it doesn't deserve that either. It doesn't deserve to be there with Metacooler. My sound alert for following, one of them, the old man one, is from that movie. It's just from a weird dub of the movie called the Big Green Dub, which I would love to show off on this channel at some point. I think that would be funny as fuck. This is going to be a controversial one, but I'm not here to make friends. Death Note. The posters look tiny? Yeah, they are. That's why I have to explain every single one. Death Note is an A. It's not an S, and the reason is because I don't think the second half of Death Note is as good as the first half. I really like everything with L, and once you get to... What's the other kids that show up later? It's not as fun. They're not as cool. Nier and... I can't remember the other kids' names. Anyway... Not as good characters, and I didn't enjoy it as much after the middle part. Demon Slayer also is this the movie? Okay, this is the Mugen Train movie. That's fine, because the Mugen Train movie and regular Demon Slayer both get A. I really like Demon Slayer. Oh, you've only watched live action Death Note? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh no. I really like Demon Slayer a lot. I don't think it's quite up to S tier yet for me, but both the movie and the show I think are phenomenal. I really like season 2 a lot. I'm a fan of having a shorter season that's just better animated and better quality. I'm totally a fan of that. And the movie was really good. My only thing with the movie was that I had to watch the dub movie, because that was all they were showing in theaters, but I did get to go see it in theaters, and it was awesome. So, it was so cool to see up on a big screen like that. New season next year, yeah. Devilman Crybaby, also great. Great version of Devilman. Netflix version. I watched Devilman Crybaby in maybe 2 sittings. It's 12 episodes, and that shit is phenomenal. Loved almost literally everything about Devilman Crybaby. Some of the animation's out there, but it's like, it's not bad animation, it's like the style. And if you like that style or can tolerate it, because some people really hate it, then it's good. There are some really funny meme scenes, though. Oh, here we go, though. Yeah. Do I let nostalgia guide my hand on this or not? Digimon Adventures, the original. Oh, man. It's been so long since I've seen this show, though. I'm gonna put this in pretty good, I think. I remember really enjoying this show as a child. And I don't know if it holds up today, but until I watch it again, I really can't, say. Also, one of the only Digimon shows I've ever seen. I know it's super popular in other parts of the world, not as popular in North America. But, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Digimon Ghost Game. You know what? That show's actually pretty good, too. That's the newest one. I did not finish it, but it was really, really, really fun. The designs were really cool. Darling in the Franxx. That is bad, but funny. Really good intro. Good English dub. It's got great animation because it's by Trigger. But the story literally makes 0 sense. It makes less than no sense, pretty much. Okay. Yeah, no, the story just doesn't really make sense. A bunch of people have sex inside of robots to fight aliens? Or mole people, I think? I think it starts out as mole people, and then it becomes aliens eventually. Anyway, there might be something in there for you if you like schlock like me. I did finish it. Dr. Stone. Dr. Stone's pretty goddamn good. I really liked how they would show like the progression of science stuff in Dr. Stone. Like you'd go from like how to make a rice cooker from like a rock or a conductor or something. That was fun. I haven't seen season 2 ever since starting this Gundam channel thing. I haven't been able to watch too much like new anime. You know what I mean? That is Dragon Ball Super Broly. That movie's great. That is awesome. That is one reason I'm a little concerned about the new movie being 3D animated, is because the animation for this looks fucking amazing. I know some of it's 3D animated, but not like I do think it looks really good. I hesitate to shit on superhero because I haven't seen it yet, and 3D animation can look amazing. I just don't know if it will. Yeah, Broly though, great movie. I've seen it twice. Maybe 3 times. This is Dragon Ball Super. It's pretty good. I really don't like the fact that Dragon Ball Super... I might even put it down and it's fine, to be honest with you. I think I'm going to put it down and it's fine, now that I think about it. I really don't like the first 2 arcs of Dragon Ball Super because they are just retreading movies, which they did not need to do. I know they change a little bit about the storylines. They add some shit. But, yeah, it was... After seeing those movies and then being excited for a new Dragon Ball anime, it was a little disappointing for, like, the first 30 episodes or whatever to be stuff you've essentially already seen. I didn't like that. But, other than that, the show's pretty good. The Future Trunks saga is good. The Universal Tournament is probably the best thing in the show, and I'm excited to see it if it comes back. If they bring it back, it's as good as it was near the end of the Universal Tournament, then it would probably be a B or an A for me. And I know there's a manga that continues on and everything, but I don't know. It's kind of like its own separate canon, essentially, so I'm not totally sure exactly if they'll follow those storylines when they pick the anime back up. And I'm assuming they are going to pick the anime back up at some point. I don't know why they wouldn't. It was incredibly popular and also made them a lot of money. Like, people fucking love Dragon Ball, so I can't see them shelving it. The movies have been good. So is this just regular Z now? Is that what we're on? Yeah. Dragon Ball Z, that's an A. That's up there. I already kind of explained my opinion on it with Kai, but like, Kai's just a better version, right? The granddaddy of Shonen, well, that's kind of Dragon Ball, but granddaddy of Shonen, essentially one of the big three in Shonen Jump, or the big four. If you didn't have Dragon Ball Z, you wouldn't have Demon Slayer, you wouldn't have My Hero Academia, you wouldn't have Black Clover, or Bleach, or One Piece. So gotta pay your respects, but it's got a lot of filler and it's really long, and some of the fights last 10 to 15 episodes. Shit sucks sometimes. Sometimes it's hype. You never know. That brings us to regular Dragon Ball, original Dragon Ball, which I think is fucking shit. Just kidding. It's the opposite. Regular Dragon Ball goes up an S, up into Super Saiyan, because it's one of the best pieces of animated media ever created. Akira Toriyama has a timeless art style, which makes it watchable indefinitely. It's not super long. It's over 100 episodes. I think it might be close to 200 if it's 180 or something like that, or 150. But it does have filler, but it doesn't matter as much because original Dragon Ball is less of a like character driven, gotta accomplish this goal and kill this bad guy show. It's more of like an adventure, travel around the world, find the Dragon Balls, and it does get more into the like beat the bad guy stuff near the end with Piccolo and Tien and everything like that. But at the very, like, from the start to the midpoint, it's just a pretty fun like chill adventure show. Really love it. Really set the tone for Dragon Ball Z really well too. Like, it leads right into it super well, and because in Japan they just continued Dragon Ball. Dragon Quest Adventure of Dai. You know what? This show's kind of a sleeper. We're at 80 episodes or something like that. It is pretty goddamn good. I'm gonna say that much. I really enjoy it. Again, it shares an art style essentially with similar to Dragon Ball, because it shares Dragon Quest's art style, which was originally done by Toriyama. And although it is diverted in the past and changed up a little bit, it definitely has still has that feel. So it's fun to watch. Some of the action's really good. And then, like, if you like Dragon Quest like I do, like, you know, just the characters are lovable and great. So that's always fun. Evangelion. I piss people off with this. It's pretty good. People are either gonna like love me or hate me for that, because they either hate this show or it's the best thing since sliced bread. There's some weird stuff in Eva. I can see why people don't like Shinji. I can see why people can be off-put by Eva. I think it's a really interesting character study. It does some really interesting stuff with the mechs and the enemies. The designs are great and the art's really good. But the show ends in like a train wreck, essentially. Like, they just ran out of budget. It's an infamous final 2 episodes, which, you know, it is what it is. Some people really like that ending. Personally, I just think I know what they were going for. It felt like Blue Balls. I don't know. I've watched it once, and it was fine. It was good. It was pretty good. I enjoyed myself, but it's not like a golden goose, sacred cow. I don't think. I wouldn't put it up there with the other S tiers. I love that I have that Berserk movie up there, but not Eva. Anyway, End of Evangelion is an A tier because that just fixes basically all my complaints about Eva. It erases the final 2 episodes and makes its own ending that's actually satisfying and fun. I know it kind of goes against Eva's whole thing, and like it was kind of the studio caving in to people being like, the ending was bullshit, give us more, even though the creator didn't originally want to. But I liked it. Eureka 7. It's pretty good. I'm really interested in seeing Gundam Reconquista in G, because it is done, part of the art is done by the guy who did the Eureka 7 art. So that will be really, really fun, I think, because his art's really good. It's a really interesting story. It's super unique with like the planet being covered in like this organic like alien coral, essentially. What do they call them? I can't exactly remember what they're called, but the mechs are like organic, sort of. There's like air surfing. The music is like Japanese hip hop. That's awesome. I don't know. I really like Eureka 7. I have not had a chance to check out the sequel to Eureka 7 at all, but I know it's just a straight continuation, so I'll probably have to check that out at some point. Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail's fine. It's not as good as Black Clover. I don't really think it's bad, but it's not as good as Black Clover or Dr. Stone or Adventure of Dai. So it's going in C down here with Dragon Ball Super. It's fine. That's really all I have to say about Fairy Tail. I never finished it. I like the characters. They're fun to watch. It's very formulaic if you don't like shonen formula. There's not much there for you. Fate Apocrypha. Also going in fine. Because if you don't like Fate, this is the most confusing fucking thing you'll ever watch, and you'll probably just turn it off in the first 10 minutes. I like Fate. Never played a Fate game, hentai or otherwise. Have only watched the anime, never gotten into like any of the gacha stuff because I don't care for that. But yeah, this one, really weird. It's kind of different from the other Fate shows because it's more like a battle royale. But it's a fun time. But I can see why people wouldn't like it. And if you're not me, like even if I'm putting it in fine, you probably will hate it. I don't know. If you haven't seen everything Fate, you're gonna be confused. You're gonna need the wiki open on that one. Fate Stay Night and Unlimited Blade Works and Fate Zero both go up into great because essentially this is season 0 and then these are a continuation. Really good. First thing I ever saw for Fate was Fate Zero, which probably was a good idea because I had no fucking clue what it was about. But Ufotable, I think it's Ufotable, the company they do like immaculate animation. Like almost no other company is as good. Like it looks so good. So I was interested in seeing it after seeing the character designs, and I didn't even know the general premise, I don't think, but I got really drawn into Fate Zero with the characters and the general premise of like historical figures fighting in a tournament / battle royale to essentially get a wish from the Holy Grail. That's really fun to me, and yeah, it's a good show. Really good audio design in it. Like when they do their attacks and like the weapons hit each other, it sounds really cool. Up next, Fist of the North Star, baby. That shit is fire. It's pretty good. It's a little hard to watch now, which is why it's not any higher up, because it is so old. And if you're not into old shows like me, who has watched Gundam all the way through twice, even though it's barely animated, because it's from well, that's not fair, it is. It's from 1979. You might not like it. There's a lot in Fist of the North Star you just sort of have to sit through, if you know what I mean. Like, there's a lot of meandering and walking around, and Ken's not a super interesting character. He's a badass, but I'm not interested in him very much, you know what I mean? So there's, you know, it is what it is. It's a good show. It's super influential. Parts of it are really fun, but I don't think I can put it up above B. This is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. That shit goes into S. I don't think there is a single flaw I can think of in Brotherhood. Actually, there is. The original show handles the first couple parts, I think, better. Because when there is that one thing that happens with Envy, and another character in this show, the impact of it happening in the original Full Metal Alchemist, I think, is heavier. Because you have spent more time with that character. And also, same when they do the Chimera episode in... I think that's in both. When they do that in Brotherhood, it's a little bit less impactful than it is in the original show, just because you spend more time, even if it's filler, with the characters in the original show. Because I think that was split over a couple of episodes, and you knew the characters. But other than that, Brotherhood is just... Like, the animation's amazing, the story's awesome, the voice acting's great. I've only ever seen it dubbed, which the dub is awesome. So you'll have to forgive me. Yeah, S tier, for sure. And then the original goes right down here into A. Pretty great, for the reasons I said. Only reason it's not also an S is there is some filler. It does drag on. And then, of course, this is back in the time where anime used to do that bullshit where it would outpace its source manga and just have to make shit up or go on a very long hiatus. So it made shit up, and the ending is really fucking weird and doesn't resolve a lot. But it's still worth a watch. I still really enjoy it. I've only seen it once. Maybe I should give it another watch through at some point too. I think I probably should. Full Metal Panic. That show's pretty good. I was actually just talking to Noodles about this show not too long ago. I really enjoy the mix of like the slice of life everyday romance stuff and the mech action in this show. I thought the characters were really fun to watch interact, and yeah, it's actually pretty funny too. And then when they get to actual action, the action's actually good. Surprisingly, I don't know if a lot of people like this show. I haven't seen the sequel or there's a movie or an OVA and then another sequel. Haven't seen anything else. Only seen the original show. And I think it's pretty great. Or pretty good, actually. Before we move on, I'm going to take a quick break so I can use the bathroom. So let me go ahead and put us on hold. Let's pause that lo-fi. And we're going to go over to the BRB screen. I will be right back, everybody. G Gundam. G Gundam's great. I just did a video on how fucking good G Gundam is. A whole 35-minute one. So, if you really want to know my full opinion on G Gundam, go watch that. But, essentially, great show. Shonen revitalized the Gundam series after Victory, even though it wasn't super popular in Japan. Well, it was popular in Japan. The models sold like hotcakes. Really fun show. Great time. Go watch it if you like that stuff. Ghost Stories. This stuff goes in D. It is a bad show, but it is funny. So, that category is kind of made right for it. Ghost Stories. Never seen the original actual show. Only ever seen the Ghost Stories dub, which is just actors making shit up as they go along, which is really funny, but it is outdated. And also, it goes on forever. Where were we? Yeah, Ghost Stories. It goes on forever. That shit's long. It's 26 episodes. And even though it's funny, it's a lot to get through. So by the time you're got through the whole thing, you're kind of just over it. You know? But you can put it on during a Halloween party, and that's fun. Goblin Slayer. Goblin Slayer's actually fine. People really overreacted. There's some fucked up shit in the first episode, and the show's fine. That's basically it. And even the fucked up stuff in the first episode is really... Once you've seen more adult stuff, it's not really that shocking. I guess if it's the first thing you've ever seen, then sure. But, like, when you like 80s OVAs, well, boy, I've seen a lot worse than that. But the rest of the show's okay. I did finish it. It's 12 episodes, I think. The God of High School. You know what? God of High School? Actually pretty legit. The animation is awesome. The music, if you like electronica and dubstep, the soundtrack for God of High School is for you. I can say that much. Pretty cool how they did, like, the animation with, like, the different schools of martial arts and shit like that. I really liked all of it. It was a fun time. Baki the Grappler. Alright, here we go. You know, This is the original Baki, not the Netflix Baki. The weird one from the 90s where he wrestles a mountain man. He wrestles Bigfoot. And then Bigfoot dies. His dad kills Bigfoot at one point. Okay, at one point, Baki's dad kills Bigfoot to motivate Baki to get stronger to fight and kill him, because Baki's dad is the strongest man on Earth. And he flies around in a helicopter and jumps out of it. And, like, even the helicopter pilot doesn't really like his dad. His dad's, like, kind of a dick. Anyway, Baki's a weird show. I like it a lot. There's also a caveman eventually, I think. Man, there's a lot of ass, too. Like, just a lot of, like, muscly legs and ass and abs and arms. So if you're into that, then it's, you know, it's pretty good. It did spawn the Baki Netflix stuff, which I've heard is pretty good, but I haven't been able to see it. It's going up there and pretty good. I think it's has more redeeming qualities than I don't know about Bleach, but then let's see. Oh, will I rate it over Fairy Tail? Yeah, fuck it. I like Fairy Tail, but should I move Fairy Tail up? Nah. No, it's locked in. This is Grimgar, okay. Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash. I barely remember anything about that show. I think it's an isekai, where they get stuck in a video game, and if they die for real. And it's, like, really violent and realistic and gritty, I think. I'm gonna put it in its fine, because I don't remember much about it. But I don't remember it being bad. So, Gunbuster. Gunbuster is pretty good, for sure. I liked Gunbuster a lot. I need to watch Diebuster. There's some interesting OVA 80s nudity that's just everywhere in that show. I think almost every episode. No, like at least half of them just have random nudity in them. So if you're not a fan of that, then maybe avoid. But it's pretty good. It's more slice of life and weird astrophysics than I expected. I liked it though. This is going right up here in S tier. That is 0080. That is Gundam War in the Pocket. Fucking amazing. That needs to be a Christmas tradition. You'll cry. Nothing good ever happens to anyone in Gundam, I guess. And that extends to that show. But again, I've done a whole video on it. I can't say much more besides it's, you know, it is what it is. Gundam 83 is pretty good. Up until episode 10, where it takes a nosedive off a cliff. It does have the worst character ever committed to anime, which is Nina Purpleton, that stupid fucking bitch. I kind of hate her. She, like, allows a genocide to happen, essentially. She allows a satellite to crash into the Earth, essentially. She doesn't stop. She's pointing a gun at someone and could shoot them, but she doesn't. And then, like, her whole motivation, she doesn't want her boyfriends to fight. It's stupid. She's an awful character. I hate her. I think the writers just didn't know what the fuck to do with her. And that was the whole thing. What's this one? Gundam F91 is such a... We're going in pretty good for F91. I'm a little salty about it because Bandai struck that fucking video a million times and I lost about 10,000 views on it. Whoa! Hold on. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid from my friend Mindless Mark. Let's go ahead. Hey, there we go. There's the shout out. Let me hold on. I can't think with the music that's happening right now. Gundam IBO, the most recent Gundam show, full-length Gundam show. Really good. A lot of people like to hate on it because they need to not like things that are popular, and it does really well. Putting it up in great. It's not an S, but hey, there we go. Gundam Seed. Oh no. Okay. Mid 2000s Gundam. Not amazing. Two weird versions of it because there's a remaster that we made their eyes way bigger and weirder, and also like sexified it a little bit, like gave characters cleavage and like ass shots randomly, and changes our clothes to be more revealing. Usually when they release in the West, they do the opposite, so that's a little shocking. But we're throwing Seed. Seed's fine. I'm probably gonna piss people off with that. I am almost at Seed to do a video, to do a full video on it, so that'll be an interesting one because some people really love Seed. Now we're down at Mobile Suit Gundam: The Origin, a 6 or 7 part OVA, hour-long episodes telling the backstory of the original Gundam show. This shit is up here in great. That was so entertaining to watch. Of course, Char is a super interesting anime character, like one of the most interesting anime characters from certain perspectives. So seeing his backstory is really cool. There's a lot of fun fan service in it. It's a really good time. Double Zeta. Okay, you know what? Double Zeta goes right up with F91, and it's pretty good, but I see why people don't like it, because the first 10 episodes are kind of garbage. And there's literally a mech made out of trash in the first 10 episodes. There's like a character, he's like a literal garbage man. Like he runs a junkyard, and then he makes a mech out of trash, and he's like, I'm gonna use my mech made out of trash to kill the Gundam, because I've got pride as garbage man. It is some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Also, the main antagonist in that show is definitely, like, kind of gives you weird pedo vibes, but he does get evaporated by a giant space laser. So, that part's pretty great. Is this the... Okay, here we go. Going up in here. The original 1979 Mobile Suit Gundam is so culturally significant, I can't not put it up in S. That's just how it be. I mean, I justified putting other stuff lower because of the animation quality and people maybe not liking it. But that's just my opinions getting in the way. I have to put it in S. My heart tells me I have to. It started so much. It's a show that looks like Transformers on the outside, but is like incredibly importantly anti-war on the inside. It has so much to say, but at the same time has to sell toys. Like, it has to, or it's canceled. In fact, it was cut from 50 episodes to 43 or 39, and they begged the studio to let them have 43 episodes so they could finish it. So it's cut all to hell. They had to include robot fights in every episode to sell toys. It is a toy commercial, just like G.I. Joe, but it's a toy commercial that had a voice, you know, and for that reason, it goes up there in S. So does Gurren Lagann, my favorite anime ever made. One of the best anime ever. The anime that has the drill that will pierce the heavens. One day I will do a video on it on the channel. I have no fucking clue when that'll be, because I'll be honest, that's just a tall order. I would have a lot to say about Gurren Lagann. It would be like an hour-long video at least. And right now I don't have it in me to do that. Not when I'm doing so much Gundam stuff. Heavy Object. I tried to like this show a lot, but it's shit and not funny. So it goes right down there in F. I did not like that show. I don't mind fan service and like tits and ass shots in anime. I don't go looking for it, but like, that's not what I'm looking for, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't go looking for it, but if it's there, I don't mind. Basically, it doesn't bother me. But it's so in the way in Heavy Object that it just pissed me off, so I stopped watching it. And it tries to be a mech show, but it's really not. The main characters are just kind of fucking annoying. And it wasn't that interesting. And that was it. Hellsing Ultimate. I don't know whether to put in great or Super Saiyan, because this show is actually great. And now that I'm thinking of it, I can't think of any flaws. So Hellsing Ultimate goes up in Super Saiyan, because that shit is tight as hell. Oh! Tenku Shinpan. Is that what this is called? It's High Rise Invasion. Netflix show. This show is one of the stupidest fucking shows I've ever seen in my entire life. But it was funny. I was so flabbergasted while watching this show that it started my YouTube channel. My original idea for the channel was to watch High Rise Invasion and then like film my reaction to it so I could have those reactions to intersperse into a video about how bad it was. But I just never got around to doing it, unfortunately. I probably should. This was right after it came out, so it would have been way better to do it back then. Now I've got sort of a semi-small following on YouTube, so basically I can count on a few hundred views on whatever I put out, so it'd be worth the time anyway to do it. And I think it would be funny. And me and Noodles were gonna watch it together, because I would watch an episode of this stupid fucking show, and I'd go out into the living room, and I'd be like, I can't believe this fucking stupid High Rise Invasion show. Who wrote this? They can't just write whatever they want and have that be the story. That's not how stories work. Anyway, I got really upset about it, because it was fun. But yeah, maybe I'll have to do that. We'll see. Someday I might still do that video. Hunter x Hunter. I like a lot of shows. I just gotta say that much. I put a lot of shit into S tier, man. Hunter x Hunter's fucking awesome. Best shonen show ever. This one also not finished. Technically, if you didn't know that the manga kept going, I could see you being satisfied with the ending in the anime. So, I also just really like it, so it's going in S. But, what a great show. A lot of people think it's too drawn out. I think it's drawn out in the best way possible so that it gives you enough time to take everything in. I really like Hunter x Hunter a lot. If you haven't seen it, I think everyone should give it a shot. It does start out very, very, like, it seems like a child show, like kid-friendly, like kiddie show. And it gets very intensely. That for now. JoJo Season 1 and 2 goes up in great along with Season 3. I really actually like Season 1 a lot. Season 1 is different from what JoJo becomes later. But as a self-contained story with Dio and just vampires and stuff, great show. Great show. Then the only thing that stops it from being an S, I don't know. I think the only thing that really stops it being an S is because I'm also rating it with Season 3 with Stardust Crusaders. And while I like Stardust Crusaders a lot, its Monster of the Week type intro didn't really hook me, and I found it hard to get invested at the start. So, like, while stands were really cool and everything, I just, like, struggle to keep watching it, even though when I do watch it, I really like it. But Season 3, I have seen the whole thing now, and it is good. I need to go into Season 4 and 5 and 6, because I've seen parts, and they look really good. Jujutsu Kaisen, right up into A. Really love Jujutsu Kaisen, can't wait for Season 2. Haven't seen the movie, but I wish that I did. We actually had tickets to go see the movie, and then, like, all of our shit got destroyed at the laundromat, so we didn't get to go see it. That was not a fun day. But that's not Jujutsu Kaisen's fault, so it's not dropping it down to a B. Kill the Kill. Kind of a guilty pleasure. I see why people don't like this, but it's going in A. If you don't like fan service at all, you won't like Kill the Kill. There is a little weird stuff with, like, the main antagonist and her mom. It really makes you hate her mom, which is kind of the point. But the art and animation in Kill la Kill is like second to none. Like Trigger, just best shit, you know. Oh, I forgot to put B and A on here and B stars. Oh well. We'll do another one of these tier lists someday. Legend of the Galactic Heroes is going in pretty good, only because I've only seen the first 20 or so episodes. I do not have time to continue it currently, and mostly it's just because this show is so dry. But I don't mean that as an insult. The show is actually great. But it's like a political sci-fi military thriller, and it's a lot to digest. Is this Made in Abyss? Someone's gonna be mad about Made in Abyss, but that's a B. I think that will go up once season 2 comes out, which I'm excited about. But yeah, Made in Abyss, it's a good show. It had a hard time hooking me. Ragnarok? What is Ragnarok? I don't think I've seen Ragnarok. Megalobox. Season 1 and 2 go up in A because Megalobox is fucking amazing. Show about people with robot exosuit arms doing boxing, and then one guy just boxes them with his human muscles. What a great show. Great music. Season 2 Nomad is even better. Takes the main character, flips him on his head, takes you to his lowest point he could possibly be in his life after being at his highest point at the end of season 1. Wholeheartedly, I would rewatch Megalobox both seasons again. Not a question in my mind. Dub and sub are good too. My Hero Academia nuts goes into pretty good. It is not a great. It would have been a great if you asked me at the end of up to the midpoint of season 2. I like My Hero a lot. I think it's a fun shonen show, but there are problems with it. There are some characters I really fucking don't like, honestly. What's the stupid grape kid? The kid with the grapes on his head? He has sticky balls as a superpower? I hate that kid. Hate that character. I understand his trope is that he's like weird, let me touch your boobies kid. That would be fine in an anime from the 90s, but the show started in 2018 or whatever, and that trope is so annoying and outdated that I don't like that. This show has a really big problem with having a really fucking good arc and then ending the arc, and then the next arc is just garbage and boring. Like, you go from what is it, whatever the name is of the Japanese mafia, the mafia arc, to the school festival arc. It's such a weird tonal whiplash that I don't like, because like, I understand you want to reset the characters a little bit and like give you some time to breathe between all these terrible things happening, because they are literally teenagers in school. But to go from like an awesome arc that had great animation and villains to like something I don't even give two shits about, it hurts. And that show has done it like 3 times. So that's why it's in B now, and if it continues to do so, it'll continue to drop. If it picks up like I think it will, it'll go up. Especially if have they done My Villain Academia? Oh, One Piece is on here. I'll show you. I'll tell you in a minute. It's coming up. Where is it? It's right there. A couple more. What is this shit? Oh, Recovery of an MMO Addict. This show is actually great. Slice of life show about a woman who's like an office worker who's depressed, and she quits her job and just starts playing an MMO, and finds that one of the people in her guild is like her childhood friend, and then it's like a romance story. And also, like, they met online in an MMO before, and they don't know that they're each other's characters. It's really a good show. Only it's like 12 episodes, I think. Really cute. Not something that I usually would watch. I don't watch a ton of romance anime or anything like that. That's a really good one. Has a lot of really cool vibe to it. Like, A lot of shots of the city. So if you like Japanese cityscape and stuff like that, it's a really good show to watch. A really, really fun one. Mob Psycho goes right up here in a Super Saiyan. Mob Psycho is fucking legitimate. Show's awesome. Every season. Don't really have a bad thing to say about Mob. Love it. Love the character designs. Love Reagan. Love Mob. Pat Labor. Did a whole video about Pat Labor. This show's pretty good. Really good foundation for the rest of the series. Good way to introduce you to the characters in the world. Designs are really strong. I really like the main character. She's super awesome. Police with robots. Fighting bioterrorists or eco-terrorists. Fun show. No Guns Life. That's what this one is. No Guns Life is... I'm gonna put it in B. It has a really good vibe to it. It's a noir story, but the guy has a fucking gun for a head because it's an anime. So, you know. But I never finished it. I don't know. I was watching this when I was employed at Walmart, and so I'd watch it on my hour-long bullshit break I was forced to take every day. Because we can't just have half an hour breaks there. They make you take hour-long breaks and then tell you not to take your 15s. Anyway, so that, I don't know, watching it now kind of takes me back to that misery. So, One Piece comes up into A. I'm on episode 300 and something of One Piece. I watch it when I have time, which admittedly isn't very often. But I really like One Piece a lot. I really enjoy One Piece. Yeah, Walmart fucking sucks, dude. Get me started. That'd be a separate stream. It does have some pacing issues. I used a filler guide, so I skipped filler. I had tried to watch One Piece once before. Like in 2013, 2014, and I watched about 15 episodes and then dropped. Now I'm about 300 episodes in, and I really like the show. It's a thing where it eventually, once you get to about episode 30 or 40, it will either click with you or it won't. And I know that's a big ask for a lot of people, like watching 40 episodes to see if a show's gonna click with me. But in One Piece's case, it's because to enjoy the show, you really have to enjoy just like sort of hanging out with its characters. Like, part of the appeal of One Piece is it's a bunch of friends on a boat going and having adventures. And by episode 30 or 40, you've spent enough time with them to like actually see the character interactions and how those are going to develop and be interesting. And at that point, the show starts picking up with its actual plot as well, once you have all the characters assembled. So it is a big ask, but like, if you end up clicking with that show, it's literally like there's nothing else like it. It's 1,000+ episode adventure of a bunch of friends, and you know, it's gonna be really sad when it's over, because it's like, well, now there's no more friendly pirates for me to hang out with. But otherwise, my cat is screaming. What are you yelling about? Miro? Oh, my little goblin. How are you doing, buddy? Oh, he's just like, I hate it here. This is awful. I want to go do mean, naughty cat things. Like, knock all of your shit over and your drinks and fight to the other cats. One Punch Man, that comes up in here to A. I watch a lot of good anime. Just gonna say it. One Punch Man's fucking awesome. I've only ever seen season 1, so I know a lot of people don't really like season 2. I can't comment on it because I've not had the chance to watch it yet. But season 1 is phenomenal, and it goes into A because One Punch Man is, you know, a great show. Yeah, it is. Okay, Outlaw Star is alright. Outlaw Star is a B. It has some problematic stuff in it now. I do have to say, I did watch it recently for fun, and there's a gay character in this show, and they really go hard on him. Like, he cannot keep his hands off people. Actually, Gurren Lagann has a similar problem with one character, but that character is a little bit more nuanced. Barely. Other than that, Outlaw Star is pretty good. I really like the vibe of it. The sci-fi and the way space looks in that show are really cool. It's the kind of show you want to put on at like 2 a.m. while you're smoking a cigarette or something. I don't know. It's just fun. It's the kind of show you'd see randomly in the middle of the night on TV. Excuse me. Overlord. Overlord is pretty good too. Again, only seen season 1 of Overlord, but I liked it. Not only because what's her name, the main demon, is hot and probably would hit me with something or step on me or whatever. That's cool. But also, it's a fun show. Oh, actually, I have seen season 2. Season 2 has the lizard man in it. The lizard men. Probably my favorite isekai, maybe. Actually, I think my favorite isekai is coming up. But Overlord, really good one. Cool to see an isekai from the villain's perspective as well. Parasite the Maxim goes up into great show. Body horror, fucking amazing if you like body horror stuff. Parasite is kind of where it's at for that type of shit. Also, like, seen in Shonen type stuff. A lot of cool fights and everything in Parasite. Like that one a lot. What the hell is that? Oh, that's Pokemon. Alright, we're putting Pokemon up here with its brother. And pretty good. I think Pokemon's enjoyable. I think it's impressive that it's lasted this long. I have, of course, seen Pokemon as a kid. This goes for all of Pokemon that I've seen. I couldn't tell you where up to. Like, it's been my whole life. This show's been fucking on almost. Came on when I was 8 or like 9. So, and it's still going, which is impressive. Like, you know, just like One Piece, that's some shit. I think it's enjoyable, and I think there's still things to just, even outside of nostalgia, there are enjoyable things to see in it. Of course, the designs and everything. Stuff like that. There's some, and I know that a lot of people like some of the newer seasons as well. This is the best isekai I've seen. ReZero starting life in another world. Great isekai. Every time the dude dies, he restarts from a save point, essentially. Gets really fucked up. Actually, some parts really kind of, parts of it are kind of a mindfuck. And then it took forever for the new parts to come out that I haven't seen. Again, another show I've sadly only seen season 1 of. Redline. Redline is a great movie that's going up here in A. Redline, damn, man. I mean, like, if you just want to sit down and see a good racing anime movie, Redline is up there, especially with how creative the designs are, because there's all the cars and aliens. It's like, take the pod racing scene from episode 1 of Star Wars and extend it over a 2-hour anime movie with all the crazy designs and shit. Redline's fucking great. Like, I kind of want a Redline metal, like, poster. Kenshin. Kenshin's fine. Don't know much about it. I do know much about it. I've seen it a long time ago, like, back in 2014. I remember liking some of it. Pretty sure the original mangaka got arrested for having some not so good stuff on his computer, so that's fun. Hasn't have much to do with the anime studio or anything, so I don't fault anyone for watching it, but not really my bag. I know there's some really cool stuff in it later on. Maybe one day I'll get around to it. Bisco. Bisco's fine. I made a video about Sabiki Bisco. I never finished the show. I only watched 6 episodes and I made a video about it. They're one of the first videos on my channel. I don't think that video is very good either. I just wanted to put a video out for fun. Yeah, it's fine. It's really creative. It has some really unique and creative concepts that I do enjoy. The mushroom keeping stuff is pretty sweet. Only seen in season 1. of Seven Deadly Sins. That's going to go into C because it's fine. I know there's some really cool stuff in later seasons that if I had seen them, it would probably go up to B, maybe A. That's a tough sell in A though. It has some good designs, some really good fights. Season 1 is alright. I just remember it being Netflix exclusive back in the day. That's when I watched it, was when it came out, so. Shiki is going up in A. Shiki is a great show that I like to watch around Halloween about vampires, and it's got some out there designs. This is one of those animes where the hair is fucking crazy. But like kind of becomes a thing, you know, like it goes like super hard in the paint with the hair and everything. Sirius the Jaeger, show I saw on Netflix. It's fine. It's a fine show. He's like is he a werewolf in that show? I don't know. It's one of those shows I watched on Netflix and then it like immediately just sort of exited my brain. But I remember having a good time watching it. It was before I started my channel and everything. So that's why it goes in C, because I don't remember much about it. Besides not hating it. Soul Eater goes up into... Oh, man. That's a tough one, actually. I really like Soul Eater. I'm sorry. I really enjoy Soul Eater. I've even read part of the manga, so Soul Eater is going into great. Because I do really like that show a lot. I think it's really fun. I love Halloween. Halloween's my favorite. It like had me from the beginning on the designs and everything. I just can't not love it, you know? It's also it's 50 episodes, fun shonen, awesome designs and characters. And there's some, I can't remember there being like terrible filler or anything, but there probably is some. Gridman. Gridman is pretty good. I've never seen old Ultraman stuff, so I probably am out of the loop on how Gridman is really amazing. But I did like watching it. I mostly watched it because it was Trigger Studio. I watched it for the pretty visuals, and it was great in that regard. Sword Art Online is fine. It would have actually probably been a B. Sword Art would have been a B if Season 2 didn't exist. Or if the second half of Season 1 didn't exist. And now it goes down to C. I never watched anything. Gun Gale was fine. I never watched anything past that. It's a little cringy, which is fine. I don't care about that, but that's going to C. It's not terrible. It's not the worst thing ever made, like some people say it is. It's not shit and bad. There are redeeming qualities about it. Trigun. Trigun goes up into A. Trigun video coming out on Friday, hopefully, because I'm still not done with the script yet. Trigun is awesome. Really enjoyable show. Especially just the vibe of it. If you like westerns and shit like that, Trigun is kind of your man. Like, it's totally there. Also, sound design in Trigun, the fucking firearms and like explosions and shit, awesome. Dub's good too, kind of. It's a 90s dub, but it's up there. Vampire Hunter D is beautiful. Confusing though. And I haven't seen anything else from it, so I'm putting it in B. Really liked it, did a video on that one. Victory Gundam is fine. Victory Gundam is fine. I did a 35-minute video on that one, so I don't want to go in super detail, but there's a lot wrong with it. Katagina is one of my least favorite characters ever made. Vinland Saga is an A. Vinland Saga is awesome. Only thing keeping it from being an S is the wait for Season 2. The whole 25 season episode ends with the show saying end of prologue, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, really interested. Smash. Alright, we're almost done here, guys. We got 4 more to go. Wolf's Rain. Wolf's Rain is pretty good. That show's incredibly sad. I watched that all the way back in like fucking 2012, probably, actually. I'd have to say, yeah. Yeah, probably 2012 is when I watched that show. I remember being really sad. I don't know if I ever finished it either. I stopped playing my headphones. I'll have to go back and take another look at it. We got an S tier, boys, down at the bottom. Super Saiyan tier Yu Yu Hakusho, the show that got me into watching anime along with Dragon Ball. I watched it on Toonami as a kid. I've seen the show all the way through like 3 times. Even if it has flaws, it's just one of those shows where I just don't care. The dub it's probably the best dub ever created. I will one day, I've had an idea to do a Yu Yu Hakusho series of videos, and I would have to, I guess, do each arc as a separate video because it's over 100 episodes. Really like that show. S tier, 100%. Can't talk me out of it. Don't care. What's this one? Zatch Bell? Zatch Bell's fine. I've seen like 8 episodes of Zatch Bell in the past on Toonami. He's a kid that shoots lightning. He blows people up. It's cool. And last down here, we have a final S tier. Zeta Gundam, my favorite Gundam show. The Gundam show that I actually watched about 10 to 13 episodes of and fell off of a couple years ago. And then when I decided to do the old Gundam series on the channel, I watched that entire bad boy. I watched that whole damn thing. And beginning to end, and it was great. Camille, still one of my favorite Gundam antagonists. I know that is... he is antagonistic, but one of my favorite Gundam protagonists. I know a lot of people don't like him, but I really do because of how much development he goes through. I really like how much of a little fucking shit he is at the start of the series, and I like how much he grows by the end. I really like the fact that we had to watch Amuro get slapped around and be a little bitch boy for all of Gundam, and then Camille just starts beating the shit out of people. I don't know, I was kind of drawn to that. But Zeta Gundam is absolutely an S tier show. And that is my final ranking. That is all the anime I've seen mostly. There were a couple I remembered that weren't on the list. But that is it. I guess we'll have to save this, probably. Can I save it? Save it. Save. Oh, wait, no. I want to download the image so I can save it. We can upload it later as a community post. That'll be fun. Alright, guys. I think this was a successful little stream. Thank you again to Mark for that huge-ass 20-person raid. That was fucking sick. And Mark is such a stand-up guy. He's such a swell dude. Much love to Mark and Arcane, of course. And thank you, everyone, for stopping by as well. We're going to have to raid out. I've just been talking for 2 hours straight. And I thought maybe I would jump in to more Fallout 3 after I was done with the tier list, but I didn't. The tier list took me almost 2 hours, so I guess I probably won't be doing that because my voice is already shot. I still have to write the rest of the Trigun script and record the voiceover for it later, so I gotta give myself a break.